In the depths of space, darkness begins to stir. Its acolytes have unearthed a centuries-old weapon with the monstrous capability to destroy a star. Four unlikely heroes, members of the Starfinder Society, are the only ones capable of ending this threat before suns begin to die. Dead Sundays Enhanced, first and third Sundays of every month at 7 on Twitch TV/Logar the Ogar and YouTube at Dead Sundays.
Spit him out, Pax.
Gods help us all.
Oh my god, you're all in the wrong places. Oh dear lord, look at this stream. Who did this?
You would have seen that before you started.
I did this.
You did this.
I did it, you guys. There we go. There we go. You guys are rearranged in a way that you should not be, because when somebody's not here, their face has to be moved, and then when they're when somebody's not here, when you're not here, your family.
You're not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna spend some time. Also, welcome to Dead Sundays. Dead Sundays is a show where we play Starfinder on a Sunday. Sorry, I forgot. It happens sometimes.
In case you got lost and found yourself here. Hi.
I have a little bit of a headache, so it's gonna be a lot of that today. Oh, by the way, I meant to say this, but I was thinking about my head. We are going to play a little bit of Starfinder today in preparation for next week, which is going to be the grand finale of Book 5. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of your faces back in their proper boxes. And while we do that, why don't we go through and make sure... Oh, you know what? I should move my microphone closer to my face, so that way people can hear me. Perfect. All right. Turn this up a little bit. I gotta do my own levels before I do anybody else's levels. All right, cool. That sounds good.
You gotta put on your own oxygen mask before helping others.
Exactly. Okay, so let's do that thing where we introduce ourselves and we say our character and we say what level they are and exactly how many credits are in their wallet and all of the text of all of these. I'm just kidding. Just say hello and say the thing that you do. Beck, please go first.
Yeah, hi. I'm Beck. I play Clara 247, part precog, part operative, all ships pilot.
All ships pilot. All pilots.
All ships
day,
pilot.
Baby.
Yeah.
Steph, why don't you tell us about your character?
Hi, I'm Steph, biological woman, and I play Zib Beverage, biological bug. Part superstar, part Star Lord.
We're still working on that. We're still working on the catchphrase of that. Zib Beverage has gone from envoy to multiclassing in Solarian, and is now fueled by the stars and the powers that move them around. And it can now glow with their own star power. So great. Everybody's in the space that they need to be. Everybody sounds good. Pax, and why don't you go ahead?
Hi, I'm Ryan. I play Pax Duro, the guy who hits things with a sword, and I have 10,815 credits in my wallet.
Nice. You don't spend money, which is really funny because you're just like, I don't ever need anything.
I'm imagining there's like a pile of cred sticks under his mattress that he just sleeps on every night.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what they are.
That's what it is Pax doesn't understand currency. He just takes things off of others. So he has money.
Yeah, he just has a bunch of cred sticks. He doesn't know that there's money on them.
Yeah.
Ian, why don't you go ahead?
Hey, I'm Ian. I play Horatio Cruz. I'm the team's technomancer, and I build and fix things.
Perfect. All right, everybody sounds great, guys. We all sound fantastic. So I'm gonna give you guys and the folks at home a little bit of a recap. You are currently on what is known as Gate 1. Gate 1 is a planetoid that is orbiting a sun, And that sun is part of a system of 12 suns that is orbiting a point in space. Each one of those 12 suns has a satellite controller moon associated with it, and they all rotate. They all orbit each other in a very. I couldn't, dude. I was like, "What is the word?" It's not revolve. I know it's not revolve.
I saw what happened. You were going. They all. Fuck, my head hurts.
It's like it's a space word. It's like it's one of the spaciest space words too, which is kind of embarrassing. But they all orbit their main sun in a way that allows them to meet up in a central point, which points to the center of this 12 sun system. And somewhere in that gravitational anomaly that is held together by techno magic nonsense is a way to access a demiplane by powering on lots of different consoles in the controller moons. You are trying to find your way to the demiplane because in the demiplane is apparently a galactic superweapon known as the Stellar Degenerator, which is a big gun that can degenerate suns and make them go dark, which will then destroy a solar system.
You know, I realize that you've said apparently every time. Like, I'm just waiting to get in there, and it's not there. Like,
oh no, so yeah, it's there. It's definitely in there. So you guys have gone to many different places trying to find out clues as to where this thing came from. It was made thousands of years ago by a spacefaring race that does no longer exist, and they took this thing and they buried it. I'm sorry. They hid it and they buried it in a demiplane. Yeah, they dig a big hole and then they're like in space, in the reality of space, and they shoved it in there.
I mean, it's not necessarily wrong.
No.
Yeah.
But you have now found your way to this facility that is on one of the controller moons that was run by a pair of AI intelligences who were real people that of this ancient race that uploaded their consciousness to their mainframes so that they could run the maintenance of the demiplane facility indefinitely so that the Stellar Degenerator would always be hidden. Now, of course, the cult of the devourer and the devourer god, the god of entropy and chaos that the cult worships, managed to convince one of the AIs to let them in, and they have been wreaking havoc and trying to open the demiplane to take the Stellar Degenerator for themselves, because they are a doomsday cult and they would love to spread as much destruction across the galaxy as they could. And you live in the galaxy, so you would really like it if that didn't happen. Plus, you're kind of the only people that have ever been in a position to do anything about it, and you just, you know, if you're 51% interested in something, that's enough for you to go do it. So, last week, you fought another cultist that was flying around and throwing spells at you. You defeated them. Then you defeated the enemy AI in a hacking battle, and then you defeated and Yosoki, who was in the corner in this back room, scrapping together different robot parts, and is apparently part of the cult of the Devourer sect that is terrorizing you guys. You know that there is a piece of the machinery that controls the demiplane that was broken, and the leaders of the cult left to go to another controller moon to get the spare part. They will, you assume they will come back. So what you're going to do is find a way to surprise and ambush them once they get back, and then figure out what you're going to do about the demiplane and the Stellar Degenerator. Do you have any questions?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So what we can do is we can pick up right where we left off last week, 2 weeks ago. You guys are in this room right here. Boop, boop, boop. And you are standing in front of a person who has introduced themselves as Zix. Zix is a Yosoki mechanic. They were fixing and scrapping bots. As soon as you walked in the door, you tried to shoot them, so they tried to shoot you. They eventually decided, though, that after you destroyed their personal drone and the robots that they fixed and all their toys, that they didn't want to fight anymore, so they threw their gun down, and then she laid down on the ground because you thought maybe that would be less threatening, and she disagreed, so she laid down. And that's exactly where you are right now. You're out of combat, and you are free to speak with her as you would.
Nice. Sup?
she's like nothing. Nothing. Man, you guys almost killed me. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I guess we came in a little hot.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes just as a reminder, she's on the floor, laying on the floor because Pax, I think, said something about it being easier for her to be on the floor, and she said, I will do that for you. Yeah, so she is not. The thing you know about devourer cultists is that most of them are so hell-bent on all destruction that they just fight to the death, because even their own destruction is some destruction. And it is a little odd, maybe, that Zix would surrender instead of fighting to the death with you guys.
Actually, a lot of the cultists tend to surrender.
You know,
Yeah.
you think so.
For people who want to die, they don't really seem to want to die.
It actually says a lot about what cult life is like.
Yeah,
Some people just need to be pulled out.
yeah. Yeah,
You get smacked in the head a couple times, and then you go, oh crap, I don't want to do this.
You just run on a progressive platform, and then you have a stroke, and suddenly you're a Republican, John Fetterman. It happens to everybody. You get in deep, and then you have to get pulled out. So what do you want to do about Zix? They are a member of the cult that you could theoretically interview and ask stuff. But
yeah, I would love to do some interrogating personally.
And she goes, you don't have to interrogate. I'll just tell you stuff.
Just really want to interrogate someone.
I will act afraid of you. How's that sound?
Pax turns on his flashlight and just puts it in Zix's face.
Yeah, her pupils don't dilate. They just stay exactly the same size the entire time.
That's fair. This is for Clara, anyways. So
Perfect.
Would you like to
Okay.
be good cop or bad cop?
You've got the bigger intimidation factor, but also I don't know, whichever one you want is fine.
Okay.
Pax kicks Zix.
Oh, okay. Roll damage, I guess.
Oh, I'm not trying to. Okay.
Yeah,
Shit.
I mean, you did kick her.
I was trying to just do the mean
Natural
shit.
weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the sharp toenails.
Yeah, natural weapons with, your 1.5 bonus. No, you hit her. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. So she's dead. I'm kidding. She's not dead. Yeah, but you kick the shit out of a person who has given up on the ground. Great job, Pax. This is a very honorable victory for you.
Everyone will remember that.
Everyone disliked that, and everyone will remember that.
Okay.
Answer my questions. Well, not my questions. Clara's questions.
She coughs and she's like, nobody's asked me anything yet.
Don't talk back to me or I'll kick you again.
Fair.
Okay, apologies if any of these questions were asked last session when I was not here.
That's fine.
How many different, I guess, groups do we need to worry about coming back to this location?
I think we did go over this, but it's good to go over it again. So, the remaining cultists that are important would be Zix's boss, whose name is Null 9, a dwarf soldier, who she does not know the name of, her brother, whose name is Zaz, and is currently with Null 9, and then several contingents of bots, shades, cultists, and cultist berserkers are still running around. She tells you that while Null 9 and Zaz are together, Deldreg is probably with a couple cultists and a couple shades, and Zaz is more than likely trying to collect as many maintenance bots and upgrade them for combat as he can while he is on this other controller moon, trying to find the piece that is broken. So you're looking at about 5 regular cultists, 2 of these kind of like cultist berserkers that are unnamed NPCs, and 6 maintenance bots that are either with the dwarf or with Null 9.
You seem pretty good with machines.
Yep.
Did you take control of their maintenance bots?
No. That's, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I could.
Pax pulls his foot back.
Oh, come on. I said, I'm answering. You're not letting me answer. It's not fair. This isn't fair.
This is an interrogation. It is not meant to be fair.
Okay, that's fair. I can't. I've been trying to do that here. I have rewrote a couple of their programming, but now they all seem to be. So they were all. I had to hack into them, and you have to do each one individually, and I have to be there to do it. So I couldn't do it remotely, if that's what you're asking.
But could you teach one of us to do it?
No.
Can I kick him and kick her until she can?
Can she explain why she can't?
Because I don't have a good reason. I just don't want to.
Okay, you can kick her.
Kick.
Okay. 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 Listen. Okay, you kick her really hard. She's pretty close to not being okay. So she.
By the way, torture is not a good way to get information out of somebody.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah, she says, fine. I'll teach you how to do it. It involves, and then she like explains away how to hack into one of these drones. It's not the same way every time. It is dependent on the hardware of the drone because they're so old that you have to find a point of entry and then rewrite certain parts of it, but only the parts of it that you need to rewrite, and you don't know what part that is until you get in there.
But
so no, I can't tell you how to do it. I wasn't lying.
But that is the sort of thing that could help Horatio do it if he hacks one, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
And she's like, but like, to be fair, you guys did kind of annihilate those drones immediately. So I don't know how much help that would be other than just... Also, there's none here.
What's left? Like, what's salvageable?
So there's actually, like, the only things that are salvageable, and this is going to lead into the ambush Home Alone these motherfuckers, is you guys have piles and piles and piles of scrap tech. Okay. You have enough stuff to make basically anything in any kind of trap. Not anything. I take that back. Shh. Ryan.
Within reason.
Within reason. And the reason is completely up to me.
And the reason is you.
No, it's not. It is not you.
Raj, do you think you could jury rig an EMP?
That's what I'm... I would say Raj during this while you guys are
that's a good one
doing shenanigans is just digging through the pieces of blown up drone.
Okay.
And just seeing like what I could jury rig as far as like what's usable for rudimentary martial kind of traps, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now that we're kind of like into this conversation, I've done some research on how you guys are going to mechanically make stuff in this place. Create item is an engineering activity. It requires 4 hours, and you have to have ranks in the skill of engineering equal to the item level that you would like to build. Now, there is no one-to-one for item level and traps, because the way traps work is they're a hazard and they have a challenge rating. So like it would be like trying to put an item level on a robot that is fighting you. It just doesn't work like that. So what we're going to do is you guys are going to be allowed to make 2 CR10 traps, which are going to do a significant amount of damage, or 4 CR5 traps, which will do a little bit of damage more times. And if you guys want to add something special to them, like an EMP blast, or something specifically to target specific things, we can work that into how you build it and what the roles are. So, in the 4 hours that you are going to be allocated to set up your Home Alone traps, because they should be back in about 12 hours, and you're going to need to rest.
Yeah.
And you have to rest. You're going to have time to build CR20 worth of traps in the 2 ways that I've laid it out. If you Google Starfinder traps, there should be a breakdown of what the... Yeah, if you scroll to the bottom of the trap rules in Nethys, you can see how a trap is laid out. So a CR10 trap requires a perception DC of 35 and a disabled DC of 30. And it does 10d12 damage. Now, when you're doing... This is basically the choice that you're going to have to make is, do you want to do more wave clearing or more gigantic damage? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to set up your Orcs Must Die meat grinder traps?
I mean, honestly, we should be doing wave clearing because we're the hero units here. So,
and Zix mentioning that there's shades with the other forces. I think like those give us problems.
She doesn't know.
Are we gonna have time to go back to the ship and possibly go to Schmooze the Ooze and be like, "Hey, what do you got for ghosts?"
Sure. That can definitely
I
be...
would love to ask the Ooze, what do you got for ghosts?
What do you got? Hey,
Schmooze, please
Schmooze.
Overnight me some force bullets.
What do you got for ghosts?
Bullets.
I don't think force bullets are a thing, but I will... Schmooze.
Force bullets.
I will also say, though, that... Because you kind of had a very similar conversation with Osteth. When she was back in control, she could see where the other cultists were if they were in one of the facilities. There are not that many shades. There's only 4 or so left.
Yeah, but 4 is enough.
4 is enough, yeah. I mean, the reason that you guys did so well is because Ian had the idea 6 months ago to get a spell gem of slow, and then used it finally, and it made the fight almost trivial for you guys because they can only do 1 action at a time.
Until we got the flyer, which actually is another good question for Zix. How many people can fly in what's coming?
So she thinks about it for a minute, and she says, well, the Shades can fly. I think Null 9 has a jetpack, or jet feet, or jump legs, or something like that. One of those 3.
How tall is the ceiling in the hallway?
How tall do you think it is? How tall do you want it to be?
Exactly 8 feet.
Exactly 8 feet. That's how tall it is. Perfect.
It should probably be 10 feet tall. Like that would make sense.
Hold on, I'm gonna measure my ceiling real quick.
It's 10 feet tall.
He's gonna get a tape measure out.
It's gonna be 10 feet. It's 1 story. I think everybody's ceilings, unless you get...
It should be 10 feet. But the ceiling in my hallway is bigger than the ceiling in this room.
Oh.
So this is... I can't see it. 96 inches.
Okay, do that in metric, please.
Oh, God.
So that's 8 feet tall, by the way.
So I apparently okay. So I apparently do not have the depth perception that I thought I had, and all my ceilings are the same height. They're all 96.
Okay, that's 8 feet.
Okay, so and 8 feet, that's a lot of space. So we'll say that they're all 8 feet tall.
Perfect. That'll probably be where we're gonna want to fight Null 9, if Null 9 has jump jets.
Speaking of, tell me literally everything you know about Null 9.
Well, Null 9 is the scariest person I've ever met.
Pax starts to kick again.
I would no. I would never ever not do anything that she told me to do. In the cult, it's kind of like it's weird. There's no structure of like who is in charge except for the scariest person is always in charge. And Null 9 has been in charge for like kind of a long time. And it's not really, she's not like in charge. She's just like the one who, if we follow her, she will help us do the most destruction. And we all know that because she's the scariest person I've ever met.
I'm confused. If you were told, or if you say that you would never do anything she didn't tell you to do, why are you giving this information to us?
She didn't tell me not to.
She didn't tell you not to tell the enemy specific details about her.
She specifically did not specifically tell me that. You are correct.
Pax, we've never told you specifically not to tell the enemy things.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I try not to learn much about any of you. That way I can't tell them if I'm captured.
How does Null 9 fight?
Pax, when's my birthday?
Isn't it Sharonica?
That is so racist.
You do know that the day that Sharonica falls on changes every year, right, Pax?
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I made it up.
I mean, it would make sense if it's hot. Okay,
If it follows Hanukkah rules,
If it follows Hanukkah rules, it would, obviously, but...
Oh yeah, classic Hanukkah rules.
Hanukkah rules. As laid out in the Hanukkah core rulebook.
We've been playing Starfinder by Hanukkah rules this whole time.
Oh, man. All right, let's see. All right,
What's the difference between a dreidel and a D8? Like, when you really think about it.
Yikes!
Dreidel-based combat needs to be in the next D&D edition.
That actually is pretty funny. It would be a D4, wouldn't it?
It would be a D4, you're right.
Yeah.
D4.
Yeah.
I never want to roll a D4 ever again.
No.
Jewish Beyblade. I did have friends teach me how to play full contact dreidel. A lot of fun.
Okay.
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 Yeah. I'll be back.
I'm more interested in flag football dreidel, but full contact is all right.
Fine.
It's fine.
Okay, so anyway, the question I asked basically equates to what class is Null 9?
I want you to make an intimidate check, because this one she kind of doesn't really want to tell you. Yeah, now she doesn't want to tell you. Yeah.
Pax, can you aid? Because I'm not great at charisma things on account of I have a android face.
Yeah, I'd be happy to aid.
I got resting android face.
34 in my aid attempt.
Yeah, literally, I have a thing called flat effect, which is just messes up all charisma checks. You said intimidate.
Yeah, I'd step on Zix's hand to aid.
Okay. That's not enough. She tells you, I mean, she has a gun and a jetpack.
Perhaps you'd want to tell me if you don't want to tell Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cover my hands with my ears this.
Yeah. This is fun. I like this. Yeah, you come down. You're starting to kind of get this idea that like she may just be chaos.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah. Come on down.
Okay, I come on down.
And so she says, I mean, you've already kicked her twice.
I know. I'm about to get
50.
I'm about to get a sweet scar.
She's gonna headbutt you.
No, she's gonna tell you.
So cool. I might actually respect her.
Yeah. So she says, So Null 9, she's got a gun and a jetpack. couple of grenades too.
You do know I'm going to kick you again, right?
Don't. I will pass out.
Clara,
But
can you kick Nick Zix for me.
she says, no. I'm being serious. That is her whole thing. She has, she's a fighter lady with a jetpack and a gun. It is a long gun and a couple of grenades. Seems like that is pretty much it for her. Yeah. So she is, she's actually pretty close to the way that Clara fights. She is kind of a sharpshooter with very good aim at range, which probably what she uses the jump back for.
It's actually kind of concerning that she doesn't have like crazy ass, black hole powers or whatever.
No, she doesn't have any of that. Yeah, she is.
She just has gun.
Yeah, she has gun. She's an android and she has gun.
Hey, wait, no, hang on. Hold up. What the hell?
Yeah.
There can only be one.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
Now it's personal.
So your read on this is that she must be some kind of soldier, and if she is the scariest person in the cult, and a soldier, and also the one that everybody listens to, she might also be a little convincing and more charismatic than you would think. And charismatic in this sense does not necessarily mean charming. It can also mean the same effect,
Scary.
but from scary.
Mm-hmm.
Just like me.
Yes.
How many followers does she have?
None. Isn't that scary? She doesn't have it. She doesn't do socials.
She doesn't do socials?
Yeah.
Well, aren't the
terrifying.
cultists kind of followers when I think about it?
Yes, but those are that's her tight circle.
Yeah, she's got a lot of members of her Discord, but no social media.
Exactly. Thank you for putting it in terms I can understand.
Referring to all of her cultists as kitten.
No. So this is the information you gain about Null 9. And you are also in this room with Zix, who is obviously some kind of engineer and mechanic and technician. She's not really trying to like get out of where she is, but she's also getting kind of restless. You can see her kind of trying to like scoot over to one of the piles of scrap. She hasn't actually gotten up. She's like on her butt, like kind of wiggling forward.
I mean, I'm standing on her hand, so it's
oh,
not like
you're standing
she's
on.
able to-
Oh, I missed that
Yeah.
part. Okay, so she is okay. So she's letting you do that. Not letting you, but she's pinned to the ground on one side, and she's like scooting and stuck to it and trying to get like not trying to hide it, but is trying to get back to like scrapping and teching things together.
So what were you working on before we interrupted you?
Oh, I was taking all of these droids, and I'm sorry. That is a term that is that is trademarked by Lucasfilms. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I was working on these protocol droids. I was trying to take the maintenance bots and upgrade them with better weaponry and to listen to me. It's pretty hard because they run on autonomous programming, and getting past that, I have to figure out what their like original directive is, and then like redirect it, and then I have to like put a gun on it, and I only have so many guns. So I've been kind of that's what I've been doing. That's what I do. That's what me and my brother do. We fix stuff.
That makes sense because I kind of do that too. But let's do this. You still keep doing that, but then you make it do what we want to do.
I don't know about that. That's the one I don't know about. See,
Yeah,
I knew
Pax,
we were
hold
kind
it-
of leading up to this.
Pax, hold her chin up, and like hold her jaw shut, and just like pinch her nostrils so they're wide open.
All right.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You can't pinch a rat's nostrils. Oh, I guess you could kind of.
I guess.
Yeah,
I guess
you abridge it so the nostrils are like more flared.
so. I guess
so kind of like
Pax puts a knee on her back and then
Yeah.
closes the mouth and does that, but is very confused as to why.
Are you giving her a pill?
Kind of.
Should I rub her throat a little bit?
I would like to do an intimidation check on her, but what I plan on doing is essentially waterboarding her with grease.
Well, you're doing it wrong. We need to put her on her back for that.
Zip in the doorway this whole time has been scrolling on their phone, looking at grenades on Space Amazon. And upon seeing this, steps in and says, fucking cut it out.
This upcoming war crime.
Okay, you're right. So she doesn't let you get that part, and she's like, okay, all right, wow, okay, wow. So I guess my choices are die one way or die the other way. Well, I'm not switching sides if that's what you
I would
think
like
is
to
gonna
start doing diplomacy checks to make Zik switch sides.
There we go.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Now
The real good
friend.
cop is shown
New
up.
new friend.
I'm sorry about these assholes.
It was like I was playing volleyball the other day, and every time I served, I couldn't remember what the score was, so I just shout, "No points, I love my friends."
So here's what we are going to do. I am going to set a secret DC, and you are going to roll a diplomacy check in secret.
Private or blind or
Blind.
blind?
So only I should be able to see it. Okay, you can't see it, right?
Nope.
Okay, great. All right. So I know what the number is. Now, if you ask her to do things, whether or not she does them, and whether or not she does them in the way that you ask her to do them, will be determined by this secret roll that you just made. Because she doesn't want to die. And she certainly doesn't want to get drowned in grease or whatever crazy war crime thing you guys were about to do.
Really not a good look for us.
Bad.
Camera was off, right?
Yeah. But she is going to react in the way that she will react according to this roll that you have made that I have logged and that only I can see.
Great.
Neat. How do y'all normally keep in communication with each other? I'm talking to Zix.
We usually talk on the comm links. I don't really know how to answer that question. So we'll just say that that's the answer. So we talk on our comms.
I'm gonna.
Well, actually, no. We do that, but that always involves the spaceship. It's some combination of our comms and the spaceship.
Okay, because they're on the spaceship right now, right?
Well, they're actually they're on two spaceships.
All right. I'm gonna confiscate Zix's comms link.
Okay. So you pull out like the equivalent of 3 Game Boys that have been hot glued together. It doesn't look like any comm link that you've ever seen, but it clearly functions as one. But it is just like a scrapper's engineer comm link that they fix over and over and over again.
Okay. Are they expecting you to check in anytime soon?
No. I'm waiting for them to come back. I was getting my shit together until they came back with the control board or whatever. I tried to fix the control board. I couldn't fix it.
Well,
Where's the control board at?
The broken one?
Yeah.
That
was in the other room, right?
Yeah, we'll just assume that they left it in the other room.
Okay.
I do have a little thing about the control board. I don't know if it's relevant.
We could Independence Day this shit with the comms unit.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. What's your guys' plan looking like? What is formulating in your little Starfinder player brains?
Well, I want to know what the best way to fight Clara would be, because if Null 9 is just Clara but evil, Like, what situation can we? Yeah, what situation could we put Null 9 in that would make it easy to beat Clara? And Clara would know her own weaknesses. So
I always get messed up by people with swords, and also one time a slime with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Slime with a gun.
Guns.
We should get schmooze. Give him a gun.
let's get Schmooze a gun.
Okay.
Honestly,
Schmooze can't be crit.
That, what we talked about before was we talked about Raj and Clara going through in sort of a tower defense, make some traps, make some kill zones type of thing, and Zib and Pax using some of the consoles in this facility to research local fauna to figure out if there was any way that you guys could use that to your advantage. But I guess also there is Schmooze the Ooze, and there may be an interesting way to introduce him into the fray. And basically,
if we set up like a tactical choke point and then put a slime that can't be crit with a machine gun at the end
an
of it.
uncrittable ooze, sure.
I would prefer to possibly flank them.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
the way that I imagine this going, the way that this video game level is going to play out for you guys, is you are going to set up these traps in and around the facility that you're in, as well as the animals thing is kind of wishy-washy. If you guys can think of something and you want to do it, we might be able to work it in. But what I want to happen is you guys use your traps and planning to soften them up, and then you will have a final battle with whatever is left.
right.
And that should equal out to you guys having a difficult fight with Null 9 and whoever is left. That is the way that I see this panning out.
Yeah. It's too bad we can't just not be here and set the entire place to blow.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you really just don't have the equipment for that.
No, we need stuff we don't have.
Yeah. I will also say, one of the things that you guys talked about last week was taking the guns off of the ship. That is not possible.
Yeah, we only have 4 hours. When you said you have 4 hours, I'm like, never mind.
Yeah. Because they're about to come back. We
don't need to take the guns off of the ship. We just have ship, and they will be on ship.
So there is one landing pad, and your ship is on it. It
They will
fits
see
two
it.
ships. Yeah. So if they go to come back to the same place, they will see it with your child, not child friend inside of it.
So we gotta move the car.
So you might have to move the car. You might put it back in orbit. You might go land it in a rough landing in the forest. I don't know what you want to do with it. It's up to you guys. But that is something that is one thing that you're going to have to handle as well.
Are we expecting both ships to arrive at around the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Dogfight not necessarily advised.
Theoretically, yeah. So theoretically, what will happen is, so Null 9 and Zaz and a bunch of the bots are on one of the moons looking for the control board. The Dwarven soldier, some of the cultists, and some of the shades are on a different moon investigating your guys' escape pod. Because they were supposed to be here. One of the other people that were supposed to be here was a half-blood a half-orc operative who went to inspect the Jangly Man ship and blew up when they went through the airlock because of a little thing called physical tripwires.
Yeah.
So,
Tripwire. All right.
what is going to happen is maybe this might be like too much information, but the two ships will come and land on the landing pad to bring the control board back, install it to open the demiplane. That is their plan.
I have a bunch of random ideas of what we could do. I don't know how many of them are good, but for sure, depending on how many grenades Zib has, we should just run physical tripwires through the forest anywhere that they could try and get to us. So if they're coming down the common pass, they trip the wire, explode a grenade, maybe take some damage, take some of them out. Punji Pit's a good plan with all the swords that we've collected from other people.
Yeah.
It might take a little bit to actually dig the pit, but that is a good possibility.
What about in the facility itself, maybe jury rigging the floor to collapse underneath them?
So we already
on this, what was it, the Kishali where Raj got tetanus?
Yeah.
yes.
What?
The door
The shrapnel bomb.
Oh,
The
right.
shrapnel
Yeah,
bomb.
that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
So that was actually, that was not that. That was a bunch of empty syringes that somebody
Yeah,
had.
you got tetanus.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
so somebody had shoved that into like an autocannon or something, and they all fired out.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was nasty. He took like 30 damage immediately. It was gross.
We
So I
could
got,
Probably do something similar with all of this sharp scrap metal lying around.
Yep. So the bungee pit and the trigger grenades, those would all fall into your trap category.
Yeah. The as far as fauna, like I would love to figure out if there was a way to try and get a large number of hostile animals on the planet into our small area. Whatever we fought earlier, if we could get a couple more of those to just be hanging out, that would be good. Raj could adhere the door to the ship closed when they land. Just run up, touch it, adhere it, and now they have to blow their way out of their own ship.
That's pretty funny. It's pretty funny, extremely dangerous.
Yeah, it's totally dangerous because it's just him running across a landing pad hoping that he doesn't get burned up.
Pax, why don't you make me a Xenoseeker check?
Do you want it private?
No, not this one.
38. I
Yeah!
credit.
Okay.
I know all of the
listen.
things on this planet.
Listen, so here's the thing. I went back and I looked. I said, what kind of Kishali fauna, flora fauna is there? Besides the Jub Snuff, besides the giant snake that you guys fought, and even those things, they are... A lot of the things that are listed for you guys to fight in Istamok, when you're just kind of like traveling around, are mostly concurrent evolution situations where you're kind of fighting the same thing from the pack worlds. It just looks a little bit different, acts in the same way, has the same abilities, but is just on a different planet and looks a little different. So, with your amazing Xenoseeker roll, this planet that you're on right now was populated with different kinds of animals. Because they wanted a place that was going to be alive on its own, and that would be interesting to the people that were living here and working here. So, because you did so well, I'm going to say that you can come up with one additional trap that will do some kind of thing while they are outside, within reason, to either disable or just straight up do damage to them. And I'm also going to say that whatever, like, picture of a animal that you have in your head, that animal exists.
Okay.
That animal is able for you to find on this planet and use it.
All right, let's just go with the Half-Life 2 Tremors plan. We come up with a pheromone bomb.
Okay.
So we just hit him with pheromones and shit jumps out of the ground to eat him.
So, I would suggest that you come up with a pheromone bomb and put it on the landing pad.
Sounds like a plan.
That way, the smell is kind of already there. Once they are on the pad, the pheromone bombs will probably pop because they're walking on them and landing on them and doing things. And then Hopefully, theoretically, they will get covered in it or something, or it will just be in the air, and a ton of what kind of animal?
Tremors. Just like little.
Ant
The
lion.
graboids.
Oh,
Antlions,
graboids.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Graboids.
So
The
actual
graboid.
tremors. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tremors. Tremors.
This
Not
is-
tremors like yeah.
Yeah.
The graboids from 3 and 4 when they have legs.
Yeah. Ooh.
Everyone liked that.
Everybody did like that. Okay. Stop
They
it.
did.
I loved it. I've seen all 7 of them and the TV
Yeah.
series. It is a wonderful time. Go do it.
Have you played the game?
No, I didn't know there was
There's
a
a game?
game.
It was on Newgrounds. Tom Fulp made a Tremors game. It's a 2D side scroller.
Is it
You have
officially
to-
licensed?
No,
Is it
but
canon?
they were contacted by Fox, and they're like, "What if you made an Xbox Live Arcade game version of this?" And they said no because they're like, "We literally don't have any more ideas."
Yeah,
for the
like, this is it. Like we've kind of hit the ceiling of tremor based gameplay.
Yeah, let me look it up.
So graboids, pheromone bombs, and graboids, and this is going to play out in a way that it is going to remove the lower CR enemies, and or damage the named NPCs that are actually a problem for you guys. That is what all the traps are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take you back to a different screen. I think it's this one. Yes. So this is the overhead view of the landing pad and the way to the landing pad. A was where you guys got out and were walking around. B is where you fought the Jub Snuff, and in between B and C is where you fought the bald man with scars on his head.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got bungee pit. I've got landmines. Effectively, what you're doing is landmines.
Yeah.
The question I'm going to ask you next is, how do you want to distribute your lethality of the way that you want to set up these traps? And what I mean by that is you're getting a certain amount of CR to go against the bad guys. Like I said, you can get 2 CR10s or 4 CR5s, and with that table that we pulled up earlier, you can see what the difference between damage to hit, what their saves are, how likely the enemies are to get around the traps.
Well, I guess it would make the most sense that we'd put the trap, like, at least 2 traps on the path to get them to go around the path, and then the worst, like the heaviest traps on the side.
Okay.
So like shitty ass grenade traps and whatever on the side, and then fucking graboids on one side, and I don't know, something else bad on the other.
Is it possible to set up some sort of the same thing that Raj has been getting hosed by over the last few sessions, where, hey, what's on this computer terminal? And then computer terminal explodes and Raj gets hurt a whole lot.
We could do that with 6.
How
Yeah.
would you
Zix
do it with
explodes.
Yeah, 6 explodes. We put 6 in the room that has the electric floor with a sign that says "Rescue me," and then they walk in, and then the floor zaps them all.
That implies that the Cult of the Devourer would care about rescuing their
That's
fellow
fair.
teammates.
that? And also, so those
So devour
kind
me.
of
is what
those
it says.
kind of traps, when they are exploding floor trap, when they are exploding terminal trap, a lot of them aren't rechargeable. They destroy the room while they do it.
Yeah.
So that
Alright.
terminal was destroyed. That floor that you guys were in was destroyed. So you'd have to reset it all up,
Yeah.
which would count as one of your traps that you could make. So bungee pit, landmines, graboids. Graboids is going to be an extra one, because you guys rolled so well. I'm going to let you guys decide how strong you want the graboid trap to be and where you want it to go. as well as where you want to put the other ones, and if you want to put other ones back in the facility itself. And then where you guys want to be when they eventually show up.
Yeah, I was going to say, outside of traps, we do want to think about where we eventually do stage the confrontation. I mean, that room where we did the last fight in, where there was kind of the steps down, was a little tricky to be coming into the room. So it may be advantageous for us to go back to that.
They would have the high ground at that point.
That would be a good fallback position, but like if we can pin them in this hallway.
In the hallway.
Yeah.
Like Clara, if you're here by the door.
Yeah.
Taking shots down the way, and Pax is here, and Zib and Raj are here and here, able to duck into cover through these doors repeatedly.
Yeah.
That's probably our best bet to take at max 3 or 4 at a time.
Yeah. I mean, not even just ducking into the rooms. There's enough desks and debris and stuff that we could create cover for ourselves within the hallway.
Yeah.
Above the table, can we create a situation where it's difficult terrain for people coming in?
Grease by the door.
All the grease.
I would say that you can do that, and that will not count as one of your traps. It'll just make it difficult.
Yeah,
like
if we just
give you. It's not gonna do damage. It's only gonna be difficult terrain, and I'll give you. You can do 30 feet worth.
Okay. Yeah, because I figure if we take a whole bunch of the detritus from our fights in there and scrap and just like throw it all around.
Yep. All right.
Almost like we pile it up so they get slowed down when we first come in.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That is very easy to do, and you can put that wherever you like. So let's decide placement now. You have your difficult terrain of 30 feet square that you could use. Your bungee pit and your landmines, those are going to have to be outside. Bungee pit, landmines, pheromone bombs, those are going to have to be outside.
Obviously, we want to put those as close to the base as possible because they're most likely to walk through them.
Okay.
Like it's the most pinchy of the cone.
So I'm going to tell you that mechanically, the way it's going to work, they are going to absolutely walk through them.
Excellent.
However, they are also going to get a chance to notice it and walk around it. So there's no chance of it not being like part of the equation.
Okay.
They're not going to like miss it because they decide to take a left or something. Like there's no point in us doing all this planning if I'm just going to decide that like they magically know that there's a trap there.
It take a 3-day march to the back of this whole facility.
Yeah. They actually they jump out of the spaceship and they land on the roof. Uh-oh. So you have 2 traps that you can place inside, and then we can distribute the damage levels, and you guys can decide where you want to have the final fight.
Well, who wants to put the first trap down?
Inside traps can be pretty much anything that you can think of. I like the ones that you came up with for outside, but I think also there's no room for a pit trap in here, and there probably would not be much room for like a net trap or anything because it would just put them up a couple feet, and the ceiling's only 8 feet tall.
Yeah, but
I still really like the idea of an EMP bomb personally for the maintenance bots.
Yeah. But keep in mind that by the time they get here, they will have already been thinned out by the traps that you've put outside. So while the EMP blast, I will give you, I'll let it kind of maybe mess with their equipment a little bit. The EMP, electricity blast, whatever, might be used up by the time. I mean, the bots might already have fallen by the time that they get there. So just keep that in mind. But I still think it's a good idea.
Just need one long plank of plywood with spikes in it that we just hook onto the ceiling and then drop and swing into them. It's
Yeah.
an 8-foot ceiling. It's not like they can get away from it.
Yeah.
A rake for them to step on, and then it flies up and hits them in
Actually,
the face.
that would be
We
amazing.
tie a gun to the end of the rake, so they step on it. It's just a gun in there.
If this room down here was just full of rakes with guns on them, so everybody that walks through it has to like dodge a rake or step on it and get shot in the face.
I keep thinking about Sideshow Bob in that one episode where he's like walking around the parking lot just stepping on rakes.
Hey, Schmooze, how many rakes can you get us in 8 hours?
Probably a lot. I fucked up. I accidentally closed everything.
No.
This fucking guy.
Oh, no.
Which means that you guys are frozen, and I have to. It's every time with this.
Every time.
There we go.
Every time we do this.
All right. Everything's back. Everything's fine. Perfect. Yeah. So what kind of trap do you want to put on the inside? You can do. I'm gonna say you can do one big trap, or you can do 2 little traps.
What would
think
you
2 little
consider
traps.
what would you consider a little trap?
One of the CR5s. So you're gonna put 2 CR5s outside, and you have room for either 1 CR10 inside or 1 or 2 CR5s inside.
One CR10.
Above the table, one good roll could completely just devalue that CR10. Like
Also
one good
true.
saving throw.
Yeah, I mean the CR10s, they need a 35 perception to be seen. They need a they have a plus 23 to their attack, and they deal 10 d12. But Ian is absolutely right that you could put all your eggs in the basket, and then it could just whiff entirely.
Yeah.
But isn't that true of all of them?
But then you
Fair.
have more opportunities if we do smaller CR5s.
More rolls means more opportunities for them to fail the roll.
Yeah.
Yep, action economy.
Guess I'll go fuck myself. We're doing 2 CR5s.
No, not necessarily. We're having a discussion.
I mean, though, in here, the only ones that are left are gonna be the big bads in the ideal scenario.
Yeah.
So we'd want one hard trap to possibly damage a big bad, because we've thinned out the shit prior to this.
Yeah. I want a trap that breaks that jetpack.
Well, the 8-foot ceiling should break that jetpack.
Oh.
Interesting. Hold on, let me double check something real quick.
I want to use the lessons
There's a
that we
trap
learned
that's just called a musk shower. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, it's when you want to get all musky before you go out on the town.
Yeah, no, it basically is. It is Pax's pheromone bomb, jury rig container of absorbent debris that has been soaked in the musk of prey animals.
Yep.
That's
Perfect.
literally Pax's deal.
I love that somebody else thought of that.
I'm looking at a whole list.
That's the best.
Ooh, something called a chamber of blades. Let's do that.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
should be
what
the
that-
CR10.
yes.
Yeah, what's
It's a CR10. It's a CR10.
Yeah, what is a Chamber of Blades? Please read it to me.
But no, I think it seems pretty. It doesn't even give a description. It's just trigger, location, duration, 1d4 rounds, reset to repair. Effect, attack plus 20 melee, 3d8 plus 3, multiple targets, all targets in a 20-foot square chamber.
That might be...
Chamber of Blades.
What's it from?
I am literally just on Nethys, looking at a list of traps for Pathfinder 1st and 2nd and Starfinder.
Oh, that's why I can't find it.
I don't know.
Do you also see the soul upload trap? We can't do
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah,
that
we-
sucks.
That, yeah.
That's
what?
evil.
I would need like a lot of money and time to set that up, but I saw that over the week.
Like
since
the
last
idea
session,
of
and it's awesome.
troning someone's soul out of their body.
Yep.
Maximized fireball.
So much worse
trap.
than regular Tron.
Ooh, insanity mist trap.
Yep. You guys got hit with that once. When you went to the
Yeah.
asteroid, and tried to open the secret cultist base. Remember when you guys
Oh,
got?
yeah.
Oh no, you got. It was something else. Maybe it wasn't Insanity Mist, but you guys got stupid and angry at each other.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember
And
when
then
everybody was
we had
stupid?
the whole argument about whether it would affect Clara because she doesn't need to breathe.
Right. And we decided that it wouldn't because she was just like, "What? I don't understand."
There's a trap generator website.
That checks out.
That checks
And the one I rolled immediately was the Undying Love trap.
That is so sim.
And I would love to make a trap that forces them to
Makes Null 9 fall in love with you.
It just
That's
screams.
the Mikola hug. That's
Yeah, I just wanted Nicola, everyone who walks in. Everybody has to, before they get killed, they subscribe to all my feeds. And then I just hold up the touch screen that just has like the 15, 20, 25% tip.
subscribe, and subscribe. No action. And everybody looks at you weird because you didn't tip. Also, please tip.
Please.
Please.
Rampant AI trap.
Okay.
Explosive furniture trap?
Yeah, you guys have been there.
Yeah.
Exploding terminals.
Make a
exploding
desk
floors.
blow up.
Yeah, make a desk blow up.
No, just like a really comfy couch that just blows up.
Yeah. It's a mimic couch.
They're so tired from their journey, and they go, "Oh, we're just gonna sit down for a second," and then we have like a little spring underneath, and it's like an ejector seat, and it just sends them into the 8-foot ceiling.
Hey, thanks for coming to the interview. Why don't you sit down on this black leather couch in this office setting?
Boing.
Wait, sorry, I just got another banger on the trap generator. It's a paint can pendulum. So I was like, oh, like classic Home Alone. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's good. The last part of the description is the paint can is filled with depleted uranium.
Hey, Schmooze.
Schmooze,
Can
how
we
much
get some-
depleted uranium can I get real quick? And can you
some
handle it? I would like to
uranium.
not be near it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that both Jimothy and Schmooze the Ooze are immune to radiation.
That tracks.
Yeah, whatever kind of trap that you guys want to put on the inside that you can think of, thematically, whatever, doesn't matter. Like, you guys can do whatever you want. The numbers are not going to change.
Hishali and MILFs looking for you. Just enter your password, and then we have all the bot information.
Social
And then we see
security
what
number. Yeah, we're going to let you
That'll
guys have the
show 'em.
stellar generator, but we are going to steal all of your identities.
That'll show them.
Okay, so I've got a bungee pit that's a CR5 outside. I've
Okay.
got a landmine trap that is a CR5 that is also outside. And I've got a pheromone bomb for the graboids that obviously live on this planet as well. That is a CR5. And then on the inside, we're going to have one CR10. What were we going to have on the inside? Wait, did I make that up? What did we decide for the inside? One CR10 or two CR5? I vote CR10. But of course, my vote almost doesn't matter.
It's up to you guys. I just wanted to posit, reflex save sort of thing, especially if it's a big bad.
Well,
Yeah.
while I get the idea that rolling twice has a higher chance of failing, I
It's
really
also a
think,
lower CR.
yeah, it could be an auto
DR.
pass. So, is it CR
Yeah.
or DR for this?
I don't know. It would be because
Well, the trap has a CR, but then the difficulty rating would.
difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say if it's a big, especially somebody who fights like a soldier or like a Clara, they're probably going to have a pretty high dex.
So
score.
then let's. So
So
if we want to
ideally-
go for a higher, if we want to go for a CR10 trap above the table,
something. Yeah.
We should do something that's like metaphysically debilitating to them.
Yep. or something that we know will do half damage even on a success.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, so it's just a mirror that swings down and stops, and written on it is "You are your own worst enemy."
Pretty
That's
Wow.
there are more or less traps like that. Yeah, like there are traps like that in this game. So,
inflicting a status element or anything like that will decrease the amount of overall damage it will do. And then you'd have to come up with, it just should not be difficult for you guys, but you would have to come up with some sort of explanation or lore reason. Well, why do we have the parts that can make this trap pop off like this?
Do we have any more elements that could create a slow effect? Like, do you have any more slow spell gems, Raj? Or are you out?
He sure does.
give me 8 hours of sleep, and I will be able to cast it one more time. So,
nice.
Because we could get it something that would activate the spell gem upon being triggered, and then impact whatever's in that area.
I don't have any spell gems.
Okay, but the spell. Okay, that's gonna be a little trickier.
Yeah.
But then you could just.
I don't have any.
cast the
I don't have any spell gems of slow. I should say. I use that.
Yeah.
I use those up.
Okay.
Because
Otherwise, otherwise you would just be readying an action. I mean, like something that we could use to potentially either a grenade that can cause a status effect, or a gem that can cause a status effect that can be triggered remotely to affect whatever walks into, for example, a room.
So Raj says this in Raj words, but above the table, if I get a good night's sleep, I can cast slow 4 times tomorrow, at the expense of me not being able to put armor on people, or also fluidity of form, which is the one that like can turn you into a gas if you get grabbed, or make you stretchy if you are gonna get like pummeled to death. Yeah. I would also recommend for the 3 of you guys to take a look at cybernetic upgrades again.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can be like, Raj, I want this thing to happen to me next turn. And then I go, boom. Now you have jetpacks. Or now you have like a gun stock bursting out of your chest or something like that. So.
Huh.
Seems like a weird... The stock of the gun?
It seems like it would
there's
hurt.
something. There's like a thing.
Butt stock. You put your shoulder against it.
The butt stock's in your
shoulder.
chest because the gun you're using is the Quake rocket launcher.
Yeah.
It has to be directly in front of you.
Okay.
So the trap generator just gave me a CR10 pulled back branch trap, and then the description just says it's a pulled back branch.
Yeah, it's gonna
And then
it's gonna whack you.
The effect says slapped in face, 10d12 bludgeoning.
Yeah, that's basically.
That's so many.
That's
That's
basically
basically a non-war trap.
Yeah, Far Cry 4 has a ton of those, and they're very good.
Said to ban this bot real quick. No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Oh, I was too busy generating traps. I didn't see it.
I'm sorry I distracted the team from our mod duties.
Janitor robot trap?
Janitor robot trap. Classic, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
Entering
I
a
used to
trap-
pull... Listen, when I was in college, I used to pull the janitor robot trap all the time.
Entering the
Robot
trap room
house.
causes an old janitor robot to activate, after which it relentlessly chases down anyone in the room at 10 feet per round. If it comes within 5 feet of a creature, it will attack it with its garbage crusher.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I call my butt cheeks.
Disintegration shape. Okay. Disintegration shaper trap?
Hey, are there enough pieces of leftover drones to make a janitor bot?
Yes, but it would have really limited capacity, depending on what I decide it would be able to do, because I need to put a level cap on that, on how much you can get that janitor bot to do. But if you wanted to make a janitor trap like that, then yeah, you could probably cobble something together.
What can what's her name again? Zix.
Zix.
What can we have Zix assist us with?
So Zix can help you build the traps if you like. Zix. That's actually about all she'll be able to do.
Okay.
That's about all she would be good for.
And we still don't know 100% for sure that she will do them well.
Exactly.
She may try to sabotage.
Exactly.
I am confident in Zix. I think that Zix enjoys fixing stuff more than devouring stuff. And
Well,
being
seems
alive,
like it.
let Zix fix more stuff.
Yeah, but we also kicked her a lot.
Well, I only
Whose fault is that?
I only fix
Zix's
things.
fault.
I only fix things to get them back to working enough order to make them destroy more things. So I wouldn't fix something if the total destruction wasn't eventually like more. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen BattleBots.
That's actually
I'm-
what that's what we're like endeavoring to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, you're trying to kill everybody that I'm like that I'm with.
That you love.
Yeah.
Well, I mean there's one just the one really, and that's more of a pack mate thing. I mean I love the guy, but he's my brother, but it's fine. But yeah, like
a lot of deep philosophical problems with the cult, I think, that I'm having trouble wrapping my head around.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
makes
like,
complete sense to me.
I'm just sorry you don't. I'm sorry you don't get it.
I mean, that's fine. I just think that, like, it's more to life than devouring. But destruction's cool, too. Again, BattleBots.
Again, battle drones, battle royale. We've all been there.
We've all been there.
Yeah. So she will help you make these traps if you ask. But that is about the only thing that she could do besides just kind of sit there.
I mean, I hate to say it. After we're done trapping, we need to have a long-term plan for Zix, and we don't have a jail of any kind.
Not yet. We can just make one.
I think I'm confident that this will resolve itself. And I also think I believe in prison abolition, so we're not building a jail. I had an idea.
Death penalty it is.
Can I pitch a trap?
Pitch it.
I would love to hear a trap.
I want to do some sort of like pre-recorded diplomacy trap. I want to call it the Yap Trap.
Yeah.
I am sold already.
I'm still kind of
I'm
thinking
listening.
through this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Something that will be sort of like they're forced to interact with, and like how you would maybe talk to like an AI to get them on like a paradoxical loop of like cycling through questions. Just I have like a lot of questions about how the Devourer cult philosophy works, and like how they don't all just like Sith Lord style destroy each other. That's sparking my interest of like.
And then when they're distracted interacting with that, we could hit them with a giant log.
Yeah.
I love that. The
That's
first part was great, and the second part's great too.
The graboids get them in the butt because they're talking to the Yap Trap.
Good old yap
I
and
like do
grab.
something with one of our extra like hollow belts or something.
I think
Or
that
the
would
AI.
also be possible. And if you make a trap, actually, here's what I'm going to do. If you want to make the Yap Trap, it can be Zib in some pre-recorded thing, and what we'll do is you will make a diplomacy check, and we'll use that as the DC for them to realize that there's a trap. So if you roll high enough on the diplomacy, and you'll know what it is this time, because we're going to make these rolls for all the traps we're going to make. We'll have this kind of like combination trap where your diplomacy comes into play to get their attention.
All right.
So Yap Trap plus Big Log. I think it's very doable.
I think that's one of my favorite moments in Bloodborne. Is you enter the horrible snake woods and but you don't know that it's the horrible snake woods yet. You don't really know what the zone is. You're like confused that you're no longer in a city.
Yep.
And a giant log covered in spikes just swings at you. Like, it's so well timed. You don't. ever think that the big spike log is going to come for you.
They can do their Souls-likes all they want, but they will never capture the gags of FromSoft. There is no greater feeling than when you are fighting. Like the best moment I've ever had in one of those games was when you are fighting Sword Saint Ishin in the end of Sekiro, and he is this person who has come back from the dead at the peak of his martial ability through the body of physically, literally growing out of the body of his grandson and clawing his way out to fight Sekiro. You fight him, and then in the second phase, he just pulls out a gun and shoots you.
It's pretty good.
He's the greatest swordsman to ever live, and then in the second phase, suddenly he just has a gun, and you have to deal with that with your.
That's how he was a really good. That's how he was a really good swordsman.
Yeah,
he had a gun. He had an advantage over everybody.
All right, let's put some numbers to these.
Okay.
To these.
Let's
picks.
do it.
So the way that I want to do the bungee pit and the landmines, because we're gonna have Clara and Raj making these, one of you can assist and one of you can make the check to build it.
I will probably be the person
I should assist.
building it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll assist.
So give me an engineering roll for how well you're going to make this bungee trap. So this is reflecting how well you're hiding it, how well you set up the swords in the floor underneath in the pit. Clara, make an engineering roll. Perfect. All right, so Raj, you're going to get the +2 from Clara helping you when you make your engineering roll. And do it private. I'm sorry, do it private.
Oh, should I make the assist private as well?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Did I do it correctly?
You did.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, nobody can see it except me. Okay, so please do the same thing again. Clara, do me another engineering check. These are going to be for the landmines. We'll just kind of say, since it's kind of like the last hurrah, Schmooze has enough landmines to keep you guys covered. You're making explosive traps. It'll wash itself out. So Clara, please make me an engineering roll to assist Raj, which you guys have experience with. So I'm going to give you an extra bonus. Yes. So Horatio, because you guys have had this tripwire conversation before when you were setting up the Jangly Man, you're going to get a +4 to your next engineering roll to set them up. Please roll engineering +4 and make it private.
Hey, just out of curiosity, while we're doing that, don't stop doing that. Could we set up a bunch of CR0 traps? Literally tripwires that do nothing, but because there's real traps, they'll have to slow down and confirm.
That's actually a really good idea.
Decoy tripwires.
That is a very good idea. I will say that you did that, and that will just slightly increase the DC because it's such a good idea.
So what arc of Mind Wars was that used in?
That was the final, obviously the Last Stand.
Mind Wars: The Last Stand.
Yeah,
Mind Wars: The Last Stand.
Yeah, it was great. Which was ironically not the final book.
No, it was the second to last.
They promised that The Last Stand would be 3 chapters before getting to God Secretary Winter's throne room, but it ended up being 4 books.
Yeah,
because they just couldn't wrap it up.
Happens, man.
Yeah. There's one person who gets that reference. They're not laughing.
I wish I
could.
Is that
an X-Men joke? Is that an X-Men joke?
No, that is a Warhammer 40,000 joke.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard anybody call it Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, I did it because it upsets people when I do it.
Yeah.
So formal.
Yeah, like it's
Mr.
not because
40,000.
it's not 40,000. It's 40K.
The tabletop
What do you think the
is
K
40K.
stands for?
The books are 40,000 because they are proper art.
There are 40,000
Huh.
books.
That's fair.
That is why there is a black library.
There is a large amount of Warhammer books.
There may be 40,000. There's not 40,000, but
But
there's
there
a
is a
ton.
fuckload. They have them all. I saw them all at a store once, and it was like overwhelming.
I'm a big fan of the 40k YouTube lore videos. I just don't like where it pipelines you if you leave it on autoplay and fall asleep and you wake up tomorrow and you're like, boy, that sure is a lot of iron crosses on my YouTube recommendation page.
So let's do the pheromone bomb. What we're gonna do for this is Pax is going to make a xeno-seeking check to assist. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Pax is going to use xeno-seeking, and one person is going to use life science. Whether or not how you decide who is assisting and who is making the trap is up to you guys.
Who has? I have a plus 20 modifier to life sciences.
Wow.
Well, then you should probably be the life sciences person.
Yeah.
All right. So Pax is going to xeno-seek to assist.
You want that public?
Yes. Perfect. So Raj, if you could make a life sciences check with +2 in secret.
Okay. Okay.
All right. We do need to decide where you guys want to put your 30 feet of difficult terrain.
Probably want to do it as soon as they enter.
So here or here?
We're facing off in the hallway, right?
We'd want it in the hallway because we want them to move slowly, right?
Now remember, if you put it here, and then Pax is here, it will also impact Pax.
Right, but Pax doesn't have to move. Pax is just going to sort of stand there and smack stuff.
You'd think that.
It's true, but maybe if it's all here, I don't know. Maybe like this area. I don't know if that can be seen.
I see where your marker is.
Oh yeah, so like here.
So like right around here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you want to put it maybe kind of in the door, halfway through the door?
Yeah, like, so to come through the door, they have to go through the difficult terrain if it's like here.
Okay, yeah, like right here. Perfect. Oops, I deleted it.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
I knew what you meant. Okay. There we go. Right there. Wow, 30 feet is a lot smaller than I thought it was. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, so I'm going to give you guys 2 of them. So why don't you draw another one? Put it wherever you want. Another 30 feet. I kind of assumed... I thought 30 feet is a lot if it's in a line, but if it's in a square, it's nothing.
Where do you guys think it should go? Like, maybe here, so like if they get past this first one, they have to contend with another one?
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, because of that, I'm going to go ahead and change some of my equipment around. Going to put back on the other boots.
Oh, good. I like that. Okay. So, the final trap is the EMP, electricity, and or yap trap, log trap. And they can all kind of be the same. That can all be incorporated into the trap. It just depends on if you want to do an EMP thing, it will do less damage as it tries to inflict a status effect on the guys. If you want to do straight damage, it will do slightly more. And Zib's diplomacy check, pre-recorded diplomacy check on trying to figure out more about the cult will be a factor in how likely they are to fall into the trap. So first things first, Zib, why don't you make me a private diplomacy check.
You're off in a closet recording TikToks.
Okay. All right. So I know what that is. You guys don't know what it is. And then you're going to decide, finally, what kind of trap you actually do want to make. So Zib is going to be projected. They are going to be asking all kinds of questions about the Cult of the Devourer. What do you want to happen to the people's robots watching it?
I like Beck's idea. I like Clara's idea. Just giant Ewok log just fucking swings down and wails on them from behind.
Okay, so we'll do. Let's say we'll do a combination of smash Ewok log and pulled back tree and spiky log from Bloodborne. We'll do all three of them.
If we can position it where it would impact them when they're on the difficult terrain, would that impact their reflex saving throw at all? Like, let's say they're standing right on one of those squares.
It would. But the further that they get into here, if you guys are in there, the less likely that they are going to be distracted by Zip.
Right. But, like, we could put it right on the other side right here as they're coming in the door.
Yeah, then Pax could position differently, so... Oop, sorry. I could be here as opposed to there.
If we move this square a little bit, you could theoretically hide in this where the evil AI was hiding out earlier and then come out once the trap triggers.
Yeah, but I thought part of the reason we had it over here was I could start smacking them and we'd get the attack of opportunity for you to just plink them multiple times down the hallway.
True, but that runs the risk of them seeing you.
At this point, aren't we just in open combat? Like, once we're in this area?
I thought we were putting a trap here, though.
Yeah, but it could be, like, the trap can be part of open combat. Like,
right. I guess.
There's another thing that we're forgetting is Zib can throw grenades down this hallway. And if we're in the way, like, if I'm here, I'm in the way of Zib grenade spam. And we need as much Zib grenade spam as possible. So maybe you're right. Like, I should be back here, and we just move this trap, move this either up or back a little bit.
Right. Because we don't want to necessarily put it in the way of
so
us
actually
providing
I just
assistance.
googled the rules again. Difficult terrain doesn't seem to do anything against reflex saves.
That makes no sense.
Not really.
If the floor is sticky, or, you know, if covered in gravel, and then when you try to jump and you land on your ankle wrong, like, there's ways it can impact it.
Yeah. Like, if you're looking down at your feet, because you might step on a tack or something, you won't notice the log swinging at your head.
Listen, these are what the rules say. These are the rules that we're going to focus on.
That's
the
what we should.
rules are dumb.
That's what we should do. You know what? Let's put a sign out front that says, "Please take your shoes off," and then we'll just put broken glass all throughout the
Perfect.
The hall. It's the perfect.
We're overthinking this, you guys.
Okay. Yeah. So difficult terrain will not help you with the reflex saves against what, and also some of the traps don't use, some of the traps just use straight up attack rolls.
Right.
Depending on what kind of trap it is. I think that log trap is going to be an attack roll.
I can't believe I didn't think of this now. I'm so sad all of these are pocket doors, because if it was a handle, we could use the glamored thing on the respectful decline, move it to one of the old swords, and glamour the sword to look like a handle, so when someone tries to open the door, they just slice their hand real bad.
What if we just heat up the door handle so that it was really hot?
That's a much better plan.
That was my first thought. Was I mean, if we're really gonna Home Alone these motherfuckers, we do hot hands.
Just a car battery.
And then we're gonna save the camp from all the.
Yeah.
We're gonna save the station from being bulldozed into a golf course.
You know, I take the grab. I don't want the graboids back. I just want one pigeon lady on a bench.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a bungee pit, landmines, pheromone bomb, and then our yap trap, log trap, along with 2 spots of difficult terrain on the inside. And hopefully you will be able to funnel these people into this room, pick them down long enough that you can have a proper one-on-one fight with them.
Can we still try to position towards the back of the hallway some cover for us?
Oh yeah.
With overturned desks and stuff.
Yeah, you guys really should be shooting from cover.
Right. So here's the thing about cover. You can't. If they have cover, if you have cover from them, they have cover from you.
Yeah.
Even
so
if it's
they're
a
really
by wall.
Yeah, there really
I can't
is.
set my sniper on top of a desk.
If I can't see them, they can't see me.
That's the way that it works.
That's why I fight looking at the wall.
Because the way what they're trying to get out of is, I lean out the door and shoot, but I also still have cover. You can't do that. If you leaning out the door is equivalent to I'm sorry. There is no bonus to lean out and shoot. Like if they have cover from you, they are going to get a cover bonus.
Don't they? Isn't there a practical example in the rules also of how that works both ways?
And it
literally is it's like if you were the person closer to cover, then you have the advantage. But then they can army crawl up to you, and then it shifts. It swings back and forth between.
And there is a feat that lets you move and then shoot and then move, which is what that's used for. Is to get out of cover, shoot, and then get back into cover.
Yeah. But I mean, we still have people who are less inclined to doing the shooting and prefer to use grenades and spells, and it would be good for them to have cover in that case.
Yeah, we'll still have cover.
I still think setting up cover in a pit is useful in a pitch.
So we can put, we can put some waist-high wall there, maybe?
Sure.
Maybe a waist-high wall there, and we'll just say it's an overturned desk.
Yeah.
You know, that's even better because it even funnels them around in a very specific way.
It's a very maze-like little setup that I've got here. That I might be screwing myself on bad guys here. Okay, lines.
We're just too smart. We're too good at scheming.
Like, defensive warfare is a good thing.
All right. That is going to be your battleground, guys.
All right.
The way that it's going to work is next week, once they come back and land, I will make some rolls for them to notice or fall into the traps, and whether or not they will do damage. Individually, they will probably all get a roll. So it's not going to be like a group of them rolling and going, oh, there's a trap there. But the higher level ones will probably notice and attempt to get out of the way or do something. But the ones that don't notice will be subject to the trap. So there's 2 things that you guys have to figure out before we're done. The first thing you have to figure out is what you're going to do with the ship.
Yeah. I think we will need to have Jimothy fly it around.
Okay. Now the ship does have an autopilot. So between the autopilot and the ship, or the autopilot and Jimothy, it'll be okay.
Yeah. But I think we should get Schmooze down here.
Okay, right, and that's the other thing is all right. So you want to fight with Schmooze?
Yeah. It's time for Schmooze to finally become officially part of the crew.
I think Schmooze is gonna decline your offer. Now that he has gained at least 1 point of intelligence and can hold a conversation, he has evolved past the need for these carnal desires
petty
of
violence.
destruction, and he has ascended into capitalism.
He's an enlightened dude.
He's an enlightened dudes. That's his class.
I'm just imagining Schmooze is on one of those. Schmooze to me now is like the dude that works at the hyphy vape shop. Now
Yeah.
that he has 1 point of intelligence, like
Yep.
he's just vaping. He's got a lot of money, and he's on one of those hoverboards circa 2015.
Yeah,
So
dude.
you
Like,
won't stop listening to Joe Rogan.
we've been trying. Will not stop. So, what are you gonna do with the ship? And do you want to get anything from Schmooze?
Yeah.
There's only certain
What-
things that you can get from him because we kind of have to retcon it and say that he already had it. So if
Yeah.
it's too overpowered or too specific,
Hey, Schmooze, how about them spell gems of slow?
yeah, I ain't got one of those.
Hey,
Can you-
Shmoose, do you have anything for ghosts?
Actually,
Can I get some
Uh,
for the ghost? Can I get a fast fault grenade?
What's a
you
fast
basically
ball
would just
grenade?
need like something with force damage.
Yeah, magical arrows. Could I get some of those? Something
Anything
It-
like
arrows for ghost.
Force damage
use?
is fast fault grenade.
Fastball? Is that what it's called?
THASPHALT.
yeah, I think
Fastball.
I think that was the class of weapon that I used for the last weapon that I created was a fast fault plasma
Yeah. Yeah.
Fastball.
thrower. Yeah.
Okay.
Like asphalt, but with a th.
And I think they're not in Foundry, right? Didn't we have that problem?
Oh, maybe. I'm looking at this again, yeah.
Which is fine. Yeah, I don't think they are. Okay.
Yeah, there are archives of Nethys.
Yeah, so it does force damage. Sure. So, it's finally coming up. Zib Beverage owns a very important piece of currency known as the Influencer Gold Card. Because Zib has spent so long clipping their moments and uploading their moments to their subscribers, they have gained access to the Influencer Gold Card, which lets them buy consumable items with GM's approval at half price, which includes grenades and ammunition.
Give me some good bullets.
So I am going to say that the highest level grenade that you can get would be the level would be the Mark IV.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Even though it costs $8,000 a piece.
Yeah.
So you decide how you want to split that up. Now remember, for you they cost half price. And I know you don't have a ton
I don't
of
have
cash.
very much
Oh, shit.
money.
Yeah, I know you don't have
It's,
a ton of
it's a
cash.
good thing I have this discount because I'm not very liquid.
Well, we have a spell that can do that for you.
We also
Yeah.
know we also know somebody who does not understand the concept of money and also has a lot
right.
of it.
That's right, I forgot about that.
And I'm sure if we just go into Pax's room and upturn his mattress, we will
Just
find a lot of cred sticks.
bloody cred sticks.
As far as force damage in your long arm rounds, I don't think that there is a lot of choice for you.
Yeah. Well, what choices do I have? If I can't help with the ghost, maybe I can help with the not ghosts, and y'all can worry about ghosts. Like we got armor piercing, or like I don't know how bullets work. What kind of bullets are there?
There's not really that many bullets. There is a bullet
Grenade bullets?
No, there really isn't. Here is the list. So how about this? How about you guys review over the next week anything that you think will help you item-wise. At the start of next week, we're going to start early, by the way. We're going to have a conversation after the show's over. At the start of next week, we will take a long rest, at which time you can buy things from Schmooze and finish. Well, you've already set up the traps, and then once you're ready, we will say that the occultists are going to come back, and you're going to have your final stand against them.
The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is as many healing serum Mark IIs as possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they are,
Yeah.
But I will also say that because you're getting them in a retcon scenario, I am going to put a cap on how many you can get.
No, that makes sense. Yeah,
I don't know what the cap is yet. Depends on what you guys actually do want to pick. We'll talk about that throughout the week, and then we'll announce it at the beginning of next week's show. But I think that you have done enough work that you can say the plan is ready, and that I'm
pretty stoked about it. Like, I like how it's a kind of a widespread between martial traps, kind of like energy traps, and then I really like Steph's idea with having. I never thought about like just a thing to distract people as a trap is a really good idea.
I think that's great. And also they called it the Yap Trap.
Yeah,
Incredible.
You give me like a pithy name, something that just feels good. I'll invest. I'm a shark. You've got my 100K.
Yeah.
Great. Does it make it worse that I came up with that because I've just got fucking Borderlands on the brain? It's been a real weird week for Gearbox, I feel.
It has been the best of weeks. It has been the worst of weeks.
Man.
There's a lot of Colonial Marines even came up again. I
haven't been paying attention. Yeah.
Wow.
I dipped out when Randy Pitchford gave that weird ass backwards.
Don't print that I'm angry.
What was it? It was like, hey, if everybody says our 15 years of games are better than this multi-million-dollar movie, that's a compliment.
Yeah, Randy is always having a normal one.
Yeah.
Just constantly normal day after normal day, and he'll be okay.
Oh, Randy.
We'll be okay. Yeah. So I think that we can wrap up for today. I think we've done enough work. I think that when we come back next week is going to be a longer session because it will also be the end of book 5. So you guys are going to have this Home Alone montage of the cultists coming through and then through the forest and then into the building. And then you guys will have a last stand against Null 9 and whoever is remaining. And then you will decide how you will continue with the control board and the demiplane and Osteth and the Stellar Degenerator and all of that. So, is there anything that you guys want to add or ask me before we Pax?
What are you gonna do with?
I don't like that it does that. Sorry.
Where is Zix gonna hang out during this fight? We need to make sure.
Oh yeah, that's a good
We
point.
were gonna put Jimothy too.
Yeah.
Well, Jimothy's
I thought
gonna be on
Jimothy
the
was
ship.
gonna.
But where are
fly
we
the
putting the ship?
The ship is gonna go fly around and
Opposite side of the planet.
Yeah, pretty much.
With the lights off.
All right. Why are we? No, I don't want to leave Zix unattended with a child.
I like I said, if we don't believe in prisons, there's one other option.
Throw him in a closet.
Double prison.
Double prison. Yeah.
Throw him in the closet.
That's a prison.
That's a prison.
For now.
The closet is a prison. That's very. You guys are such great allies.
Okay, but I only see those two options are the only options I see. Unless you want to put Zix on the ship with Jimothy.
No, that's a terrible plan.
I don't want to.
Yeah, that's option. There's no good option here.
I mean, like I said, we can either adhere Zix to the floor or something, so Zix can't go anywhere. But then they're just gonna yell, or we can gag Zix, but not actually imprison them. So like they can go where they want, but they're gagged.
If we imprison Zix, but we insist that they're not imprisoned, are we still imprisoning her? No, this isn't prison.
No, you're not in prison.
This is an opportunity.
You can totally leave at any time.
You know, you're right.
What if lock the door?
What if Zix is just going to be not a captive, but an ally with a job that they're going to do for us without pay.
Well, Captain, have we gotten everything we need out of Zix? Is Zix useful to us anymore now that we're done building all the traps?
That is a PAX question.
Also, did you guys have Zix help you?
Yes.
I don't think we did. Did we?
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was only feasible to have Zix help us.
No, Zib said Zix was helping. That's what I heard. I remember the conversation. All people going, "I don't trust Zix," and Zib going, "Trust her."
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm trying to think which
I
trap
was in the
which
assumption
trap
that
would have
Zix-
Zix helped with, because I don't think she helped with the ones that Raj and I rolled for.
Oh, then
We
it'll
would've-
be she helped with the one that's on the inside.
Okay.
The one that's she helped Zib with the diplomacy thing.
Nice.
But that's the one
Setting
I
up the
really want to
hologram.
work. Ugh.
And it will work even
And it
better
will
because I
work.
had help from my new friend and subscriber.
Yeah, so you guys can think about where you're going to put Zix.
Yeah.
We'll decide at the beginning of next week where Zix is going to be, what you're going to do with her.
Could just leave Zix on the platform, like on the landing pad.
I thought that as well.
Zix will tell them exactly every trap. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, also
And
that.
how many of us
also,
there are, and
Exactly. Okay. So I think we can wrap up for the day. This is a great plan. We're going to come back and enact this plan next week. I think. Yeah. So next week we're going to be starting a little bit earlier. We're going to start at 6 o'clock. We will still be Sunday. And if I think that's it. I think I don't have anything else. So viewers, thank you for viewing. Players, thank you for playing. Paizo, thank you for making Pathfinder and Starfinder. If you're watching and you want to watch the old episodes that we have recorded, you can go to our YouTube channel. If you're interested in homebrew Starfinder content, you can go to my Starfinder Infinite page. I will have another one coming out by the end of next week because it is the last chance I have to use the OGL before they sunset it and move on to something else. And if there's nothing else to add, I think now is the time that we will look at the camera and wave and say goodbye. But make sure you stick around and watch our great commercial for our fake restaurant. Bye!
When you're coming from the black, you want a place that reminds you of home. You want traditional foods like our Eoxians cadaver digits, fresh fried every cycle, or tacos made the Spathini way, flavored with real asteroid salts. With quality fine enough for the syndicate, but at prices any corporate collar can afford. So after you dock, head over to the Eye. We're open all cycle every cycle, ready to treat you like family, hive mind, or brood clutch. Spacies, you're gonna like the food you eat from the restaurant that I own.
Hi, thanks for watching this episode of Dead Sundays. I'm going to do a little bit of credits and then we're going to get out of here. Zib Beverage was played by Steph. Clara247 was played by Beck. Pax Duro was played by Ryan, and Horatio Raj Cruz was played by Ian. I played everybody else. This is a list of all the shows the list of all the programs that I use to make this show. You should check them out. You should pay for the premium tiers. You should tell your friends about them. You should have a good time. You should always tip your bartenders, and you should always buy a present for somebody on their birthday. Enjoy!